Guys, this is Mr. Joshy J, and in this video I am doing driver ratings and team ratings for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Wow, that was an absolute unbelievable weekend of Formula One action. It really was. Now, the driver ratings and team ratings I usually do during my race reviews, but as I had a lot to talk about, and as I want to keep the run of uploads uploading every day, I thought I'm just going to do the driver ratings and team ratings in a separate video. So here we go. Let's get on with it. Now, in this video, you're aware in the race reviews, I rate all drivers and the teams as well for their weekend's performances. Right, let's get started then. Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton. This is going to hurt. 0. My goodness sake. I mean, I know he was P2 in qualifying, but he did get a toe from Valtteri Bottas. But my goodness sake, that mistake he made. Absolutely criminal. Especially after his title rival, Max Verstappen, was out of the race after crashing into the wall with a tyre failure. But, yep, so Lewis Hamilton, he got off the line well, but then the car just wouldn't stop. Because apparently he hit a magic brake button where he turns the brakes off or something. A mode what you use on the restart or at the start of the race. So, yeah, terrible mistake by Lewis Hamilton. Race pace, Mercedes really struggled this weekend, but that was such a terrible mistake by the 7-time world champion. What a missed opportunity. Guaranteed 18 points and absolutely bottled it. Oh, dear me. Oh, I'm so frustrated. I really am. I mean, F1 sometimes, wow, when things don't go your own way, it just makes you want to tear your hair out, but, oh. Yeah, but he'll bounce back strong. Paul Ricard's next, and Hamilton always does well there, and I still strongly believe Lewis Hamilton will be title favourite, because the tracks like Monza, Silverstone, Spa, Hungary, I mean, tracks with long straights, Mercedes have got great straight line speeds because it just breezed past that Ferrari yesterday, the Mercedes. So, yeah, disappointing weekends, but I'm confident Lewis will bounce back. Now, I hate giving my favourite driver a 0, but you got to say it how it is. That was an awful, awful error. So that's why I'm afraid I'm giving him a 0. Valtteri Bottas, 0. I mean, amongst the carnage, he should have been in the points at least, but in traffic, Bottas just cannot overtake, so that's a horseshit performance by Valtteri Bottas. Qualifying had his qualifying compromised because of the red flag, and helps Lewis Hamilton have a toe, but in the race, not good enough by Valtteri Bottas. I've made my feelings very clear what I think of Bottas sometimes. I gave him credit in Monaco because he was better than Hamilton all weekend, and then, of course, his tyre got stuck, but you cannot perform like that. You need to be at least in the points when all the carnage happens, so 0 for Bottas, I'm afraid. Red Bull, Max Verstappen, 9 out of 10. P3 in qualifying, was leading most of the race in complete control, then his tyre completely let go. And serious questions, as I said in my review, need to be asked about Pirelli. They are literally putting drivers' lives at risk. Drivers crashing at 200 miles per hour. I mean, it don't bear think about what would have happened if it was in, like, the 70s and that, when the cars weren't as safe. But thank goodness they're more safe these days. Max Verstappen, no fault of his own, absolutely robbed and a victory. Absolutely dominated. Sergio Perez, 7 out of 10. Now, it's a great race win, but gonna mark him down a bit because he had a poor qualifying yet again. Yes, he may got caught out by the red flag, but gotta do better in qualifying. But in the race, he is absolutely fantastic, Sergio Perez, and I'm so happy he won the race because recently Max Verstappen has been the only driver to win for Red Bull Racing because Albon and Gasly weren't good enough. But finally, Red Bull got a second driver who can take the fight to Mercedes because Max Verstappen retires, but the number 2 driver is able to capitalise and win the race. So that is absolutely fantastic by Sergio Perez. Yep. McLaren, Lando Norris, 5 out of 10. Now, gotta mark him down a bit because he spun in practice, FP3, and then qualifying, slam dunk penalty. Went to come in the pits and decided to cross the line or something. So, yeah, not the best of weekends for Lando Norris, but still finishing the points. So, yep. Daniel Ricciardo, 5 out of 10. Again, another horseshit qualifying. P9 in the race. It should have been higher because of the carnage, but failed to capitalise. So, yep, another poor weekend by the Australian Daniel Ricciardo. Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, 8 out of 10. P1 in qualifying, but only P4 in the race because Ferrari had such poor pace, in the race. And Leclerc getting absolutely overtaken by everyone at the front because the Ferrari just lacks the pace. So, disappointing weekend in the end. Carlos Sainz, 2 out of 10. Poor mistake in the race, made an awful error, and that was pretty much his race compromised after that. Yeah, that was poor by Carlos Sainz. A driver of his quality expects much more, but yeah, not good enough there by Carlos Sainz. Missed opportunity for Ferrari to get some big points this weekend with all the carnage what happened. Alpine, Fernando Alonso, 9 out of 10. By far his best weekend since his comeback. P9 in qualifying, P6 in the race. Absolutely fantastic for the double world champion. So good to see him have a strong race because I did a video recently about Fernando Alonso needs to improve. Well, looked like he may have watched mine and MUFC Racers video because he's much better this weekend. Esteban Ocon, 4 out of 10. P12 in qualifying and retired about 4 laps into the race, so not the best weekend for Esteban Ocon, because I've been giving Ocon a lot of praise recently, but just not good enough this weekend, really. Aston Martin, Sebastian Vettel, 10 out of 10. My driver of the day. Very unlucky to miss out in Q3. Got caught out due to red flag, but then finished P2 in the race. Was on fresher tyres, and his race pace was absolutely amazing. It's so good to see Sebastian Vettel back up there. It really is. The Sebastian Vettel of old. I really miss that. Yeah, because Ferrari, he had a horseshit end to his career, but he's moved to Aston Martin, and now he finally looks settled after a slow start to the season. So 10 out of 10, my driver today, absolutely fantastic. Lance Stroll, 0, not good enough. He calls the red flag in qualifying, big crash, P19 in the race, and then, P19 in qualifying. In the race, crashed out due to tyre failure, which wasn't his fault, but it was a poor weekend for Lance Stroll. AlphaTauri, Pierre Gasly, 10 out of 10. One of my stars of the weekend. P1 in FP3 and P3 in the race. Wow, absolutely fantastic by Pierre Gasly. Since going back to AlphaTauri, Pierre Gasly looks very much at home in that team. And it's great to see after the poor performance at Red Bull. It's great to see how he settles back into AlphaTauri. Yuki Tsunoda, 9 out of 10. A much better weekend for Yuki Tsunoda. His best weekend so far. Made it through to Q3 for the first time and had a really good race as well. Finished in the points. So a great weekend for the Japanese driver. Alfa Romeo, Kimi Raikkonen, 8 out of 10. A great weekend for Kimi Raikkonen. Outperformed Antonio Giovinazzi all weekend because Antonio Giovinazzi, he crashed out in qualifying, and Kimi Raikkonen, P10 in the race, scored his first point this season, so give credit when it's due. Antonio Giovinazzi, 5 out of 10. Yep, crashed out in qualifying and P11 in the race, just finished behind Kimi Raikkonen, so got outperformed by Raikkonen this weekend, Antonio Giovinazzi, because to me he's been one of the star drivers of the season, but not the smoothest of weekends for the Italian driver this weekend. Haas, Mick Schumacher, 7 out of 10. A decent weekend for Mick Schumacher. Beat Mazepin all weekend. Had a bit of a poor pit stop due to the wheel being not put on properly, but thankfully he stopped the car, was able to rejoin the track, and he finished P13, which was his best result so far. So good performance by Mick Schumacher. The key to Mazepin, 4 out of 10. He span in practice, and I think he span in the race as well, but still made it to finish. But this weekend definitely got outperformed by Mick Schumacher all weekend. George Russell, 5 out of 10. Not the best of weekends for George Russell this weekend. He had a water leak during qualifying, so before qualifying, so he's a bit late coming out, but he still made it through to Q2. And then in the race, he retired. Don't quite know what the issue was, but yeah. Not the smoothest of weekends for George Russell. Nicholas Latifi, 5 out of 10. Again, not the best of weekends for Nicholas Latifi. I mean, just to me, a slam dunk penalty, Of course, Williams messed up a bit and they told him to come in and stay out. That was missed communication. So, yeah, not great management there from Williams, and not the best of weekends for Nicholas Latifi, because he could have been in the points and that could have been massive for Williams. So that's all the drivers done. Team ratings, Mercedes, 0. Yeah, but just lacking pace all weekend. Bottas nowhere, and Lewis Hamilton makes that costly mistake, 0. Red Bull, 10 out of 10. Dominated this weekend. We're on for their first 1 and 2 since, 2016 or something? Only to have it taken away by a tyre failure, which is so unfortunate. McLaren, 6 out of 10. Not the best of weekends for the British team, but still scored some points. Ferrari, 7 out of 10. Good in qualifying, but poor race face. Alpine, 7 out of 10. Great weekends for Alonso, but not the best of weekends for his teammate, who, of course, retired in the race. Yep. Aston Martin, 7 out of 10. Great for Vettel, but poor for Lance Stroll. So, 7 out of 10 respectable score for them. AlphaTauri, 9 out of 10. Great points for them. Both drivers looks really good this weekend. Alfa Romeo, 6 out of 10. decent weekend for Kimi, not the best Antonio Giovinazzi. Haas, 5 out of 10. Again, the car lacking pace, really. And Williams, 4 out of 10. As I said, poor management with the TP and Russell retiring the race. So not a great weekend for the British team, but that's the driver ratings done. Team ratings done for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Now we got a week's break and then we have a triple header. Yes! Very much looking forward to that because that would definitely keep my channel acting. So looking forward to having a triple header. And thanks so much for all the support on the qualifying and race review videos. And let me know if you would like to see driver ratings and team ratings in separate videos from now on, because I can easily adjust, and do it in separate videos if you wish. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the race reviews. If you want me to just talk about the race, that's fine. And do this in separate videos. I'll leave that to you guys because the support has been absolutely amazing recently. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Because I do a lot of F1 videos and football videos. And with the Euros coming up this week, I'll certainly be doing a lot of football videos. Comment your thoughts down below. I will always reply. And I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Now, even though I don't always do daily uploads, I'm still uploading every day. Because sometimes with the daily uploads, if I do them, then sometimes I run out of video ideas. So if I do single uploads, at least I can keep the consistency going. Bye-bye.